Hey guys, welcome to Fish Hook. I'm Charles, and we're titling tonight my first live broadcast. This is the first time I've done this, and we're going to be entitling this series, which we'll do every Wednesday night, called Chatting with Charles. We got a lot of good things we could talk about tonight. I'd like to talk about there's been an article that we saw on the internet from the U.S. Department of Agriculture based on seafood. J. DeLuca Company out of California, a big importer, was importing and now recalling 70,000 pounds of fish called the yellow walking fish. I have no idea what that is. And it's made in a Vietnamese factory that has not been approved for import to the U.S. So get that. This has been going on since 2018 to 2019. The agriculture checked it out in their routine inspections, and they found out. So pretty hard to believe. And now there's a huge recall. Now we got some visitors with us. Aisha, Cooper, how are you? Good to see you again. We'll be doing this every Wednesday night. We had a little technical difficulty in the first minute or two here. YouTube wasn't cooperating, but we're live. And James the man, hello. Welcome everybody here. I hope everybody's having a good week. This is just the beginning now when I'm getting my boat ready. I didn't dare want to attempt to go on the water on the lake here on Memorial Day because that's suicide. With all the nuts out there, there are more houseboats than I could count and people going crazy out there. So I have a deck boat that we'll be doing a lot of filming on. And I spent a good part of Memorial Day pressure washing, and that took forever to do that. But that's part of, if you have a boat, that's part of boat maintenance. You need to take care of your fiberglass, your engine. I'll be doing charged up the batteries. We're going to be testing all the components. That's all part of it. And we'll be getting out hopefully this weekend, and next week and the following weeks we'll be going out trolling for striper and bass. There's quite a few good fish here in Tennessee. So we should be having some really cool videos coming. We're going to be doing some more videos on how to hook your bait. We got some interesting subjects that we'll be discussing, and I'll have some live bait with me like shad or minnows or whatever, and we'll hook them in different ways. And I think you'll get a good understanding of how better to handle live bait, how to fish it, and when to do it, and what time calls for one way and what time calls for another way. And Andrew Fitzpatrick just signed on. Welcome, Andrew. All the comments on the videos are shut off in the beginning. I think YouTube, that's where it's going. We appreciate all you guys. Any thoughts you do have, I do want to address this. Any thoughts you do have or questions, our email address is, and I'm going to type it in right now, is fishhook2019@gmail.com. Please definitely send stuff there. I would love to talk with you guys and discuss ideas and stuff like that. Our new toadfish rods that we bought, I bought 2 of them. Hopefully I'll be doing an on the water here in the next week or so, on the water discussion on how good they cast, and with some new Daiwa BG reels. I think you guys will like it, and we'll try it with straight mono and with braid. Now we got another visitor, Ming Yun Lam. How's the bass game down there? It's excellent. In Tennessee's a big state. We've got varied terrain, varied fish. We've got up in the northeastern part of the state, we've got some real big, beautiful dams like Norris and others. And they just posted recently huge walleye. Somebody caught like a 30-incher. I mean, that's behemoth for a walleye. We've got a good walleye population here in the lakes. They're stocked regularly. Up in Salina, Tennessee, where I fish a lot, there's a lake called Dale Hollow Lake. It's our largest body of fresh water that we get in Nashville. Well, that is stocked with 250,000 little yearlings every year, little walleyes. It's stocked with muskie, great trophy fish, and good eating, I understand. So we have great bass. In fact, in Dale Hollow Lake, that's the world record smallmouth. That joker was like 12 or 13 pounds. Now, we've caught some good size ones, me and my buddy Steve. You got to know when. You can fish them all year long. And there's a limit. You can catch one under 16 inches and one over 21. So 16 to 21 is the magic size for reproduction. And they don't want you to keep any of them. But it's very good. The bass is good. The crappie is great fishing down here. I haven't done a lot. I've done very little. But that's another world entirely. It's pretty good. Now, what's the current season like? Right now, if you're referring to the weather, let me see. You wrote, seems plentiful. Definitely going to make time to. Oh, yeah. All year long you can fish. Seriously. It's hot as Hades right now. It's 92 degrees on an average the last 3 days. So unfortunately, we don't get a beautiful spring. Not this part of the state. We get maybe 2 or 3 days. It spoils us. We keep getting fools every year. Hey, this is great. We're going to get spring. No, we're not. Then comes 80 and 90-degree weather, and you're roasting. So, if you don't like the weather, you know the expression, wait 15 minutes and voila. It could go anywhere. It could go down and go up. We never know on the lake either. It's crazy. We've made so many mad dashes on the lake on Dale Hollow. We were fishing one night, doing some night fishing for walleye, and this is a huge lake. This lake touches 3 states, and we're in the middle of the lake, and it takes 20 minutes to get to any shore. And all of a sudden, lightning comes out of nowhere, and we beached our boat, and ran. I mean, literally, we dove into the trees to get undercover because lightning was right on top of us. So you got to be careful. We get a lot of ridiculous electrical storms. Just like when I'm in Florida, that's probably the lightning capital of the world, as they say. It's the most prettiest form of lightning across the skies. It's almost like God is painting a picture. It goes on and on, tentacles. It's just awesome, but you don't want to be anywhere near the water when that happens. I believe in safety. Another video that we'll have coming up, we're going to talk about different types of vests to wear. And if you're not a swimmer, if you are a swimmer, let me tell you, safety is number one. Anybody comes in my boat, they will wear a vest the entire time. There's no drinking ever allowed. And if they don't meet that criteria, they don't get the privilege of fishing with me. So what can I say? But we would really believe in safety. There's a sign up at Dale Hollow Lake, among all the other lakes. And it was like, at the time, it was 138 people had drowned there. Guess what? Nobody was wearing a life jacket. That's a horrible fact. So I hope for all you guys, as you go on the water, whether it's the ocean or the lake, please be very careful. Take precautions. Do it the right way. And we want to help you. We want to help you pick out your tackle, pick out your rod. I want to talk about, we got a visitor from up north, northern Minnesota, Brady Grove. How you doing, Brady? Have you ever fished northern pike? The only time I fished northern pike was 3 or 4 years ago. First time I ever flew into Minneapolis, and I went ice fishing. It was the coolest thing in the world. And I went with Tony Roach. I stayed up there 4 days, and we caught four different. In fact, I posted it on Instagram. If you'll check our page, they weren't huge, maybe 30 inches at the biggest, but we did them with tip ups on the ice, and it was really nice. But northern pike are fun. I don't think, as far as I know, I don't think they live in these waters because the ecosystem is not healthy for the northern pike. But muskies live great. So who knows? Muskies really thrive very good. They're introduced in many lakes. We've got guides up in Melton Hill Lake, Dale Hollow, and others that strictly take you out on muskie trips. So muskie has took very well to this state. We've got I got to say, for being in Tennessee now almost 33 and a half years, the ecosystem here is ridiculous. It's so good. The shad population, like up in Dale Hollow and Old Hickory and Percy Priest, these are big bodies of water controlled by TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, when FDR was a president, to create hydroelectric power. They're fabulous, fabulous lakes to fish. Center Hill Lake is just bone-chilling cold, and on the other side of the dam from Center Hill forms the river called the Caney Fork. Very famous kayakers, canoers, they go down there. The water, my deck boat sits about 12, 13, 14 inches above the water, so it's pretty low in the water. It's a modified V-hull, all fiberglass, and it can glide on the water. And you can feel about 2 or 3 feet above the water when you're sitting there in the Caney Fork. It's a cool mist. It's like opening the freezer door, and you get that kind of condensation. It's ice cold. That water comes from the bottom of Center Hill Lake, and we catch large brown trout, rainbow trout. There are cutthroat. I believe there's cutthroat in there, and big walleye. And stripers go up there. When they want to cool, when it's really hot, they go up the Caney Fork because it empties into the Cumberland River. And that's a huge river system. And Lake Cumberland, that dumps into Lake Cumberland, is just beautiful. We've got beautiful tributaries. The I have to say, the fishing game here, Tennessee Wildlife, do a magnificent job. I want to take my hat up to them. They do a great job. The park rangers are not there to break our chops. These guys are really cool guys. They monitor it. We've got another visitor, GVS Fishing. Hello from New York. What part of New York are you from? I'm originally from Manhattan, New York. I was born there. And then I lived in Long Island, Little Neck, and the Great Neck area. But GVS Fishing, the Bronx, Fort Apache. Oh, yeah. Well, good to have you on board, man. We are for some of you guys that maybe are new to our channel, and I hope you're subscribing. If you're not, please subscribe. I'm very excited about this. We've been live since February 26th. That's our first broadcast. Took us a month to get everything going and get a studio set up in my home. And we now have 1,042 subscribers. So, man, that is like over the top. I am so stoked about that, and I'm excited. But if any of you folks are not part of it, we are a channel that on Mondays we call it it's a food. Now my mind's going blank, but it's Munchie Mondays, where we select different seafood dishes, or we go out and do seafood reviews. We go to a lot of cool restaurants. We have started a sushi war, and we've done 3 restaurants. There's still one more to come out, and we've done some really good reviews, me and Jack. And then on Fridays, we call them Fishing Fridays, where we'll go out and we'll either do tackle reviews, checking out different lines, not tutorials, or any kind of tutorial in the fishing world, and just shooting, the fishing talk. And then the most important thing is we get on the boat or we go on land, and we do all types of fishing here. So it's pretty cool. We fish from the shore for striper. Usually there's only certain times, like early in the spring now, they come in shore. And we got another question. Brady is asking, what type pound test do you recommend for medium-sized fish? Well, let's talk about that for a little bit. Medium to me is 6 to 12 pound test. That's medium with a medium to medium light rod. The two rods, if you look at one of my videos when I did toadfish, I bought a medium light and a medium rod. That will do literally 98% of the fishing here on the lakes and stuff. If I'm going to go all the way out in the ocean, I'm going to get a full straight out medium heavy and a medium rod to do boat fishing, not jigging. That's totally different. But I would say medium would be 6 to 12 pound test. I prefer braid, and then you could get away with a way higher pound, like 15 to 20 pound braid, with the appropriate fluorocarbon or monoliter. Like, for example, if I'm using 10 pound braid, I want to put on minimum 20 to 25 pound fluorocarbon or monoliter. And that all depends on what type of fishing I'm going to do. If it's really finesse, finicky, like trout, like freshwater trout more than saltwater, I'm probably going to use fluorocarbon and use a little lesser poundage and a long one because they see it. Now we got another remark, GVS fishing. I'm going to try the Parmesan crusted trout this weekend. Let me tell you, that's my Florida home. I have a condo over there and north of Tampa. I made that while my wife was at work. I ate like 3/4 of that by the time she came home. I'm not bragging on myself, but that was impressive. My wife tasted it and she says, wow, she says, you ain't never cooked this good before. So if your wife likes it, that's a home run. Now, Brady, thanks for the info for pike. We usually, you guys use steel, yeah, steel leaders. They very commonly snap line. Absolutely, absolutely. Steel leaders, even when musky. In saltwater, barracuda, and some other real toothy specimens. There's a lot of teeth in salt water, and we use steel leaders, or sometimes I'll do some more knot demonstrations, and we'll do a haywire twist with there's different densities of wire leader, and you can use that. And man, it's good. Look at my video when I did the Bel Air tackle video. I was in, those guys are the greatest. I spent a lot of my time in the tackle stores. And in the tackle store, he was doing a haywire twist, making up these stinger rigs they use for kingfish, but you could use them for a lot of fish. I'm adapting them. I'm putting stinger rigs even when I have spoons and others, because like striper and others like to come in. These guys are savage, and they just smack their bait to disorient the bait. Right then and there, you could catch that pike or that muskie or a real big striper. They're just voracious, these guys. Now, let me see the next one. Stuart, how you doing, Stuart? Thanks for joining. Can you do a fish curry recipe? Yes, I don't have a lot of experience with curry. My dad loved it, and I do have curry. I have probably all the spices you can imagine, but I will be doing, and I'm going to make a note of that, a curry recipe for fish. Oh yes, I will. I will do that. Do you cook a lot with curry? I'm going to try it, but that's the fun of it. I'm not afraid to try any recipe. So I look, and usually I'll put our twist on it. So you guys can do the same thing. A lot of the fishing recipes that I do, I got them from experience. I learned from my wife. She's taught me a lot of stuff. She's an ace cook. And as Italian, we tend to do a lot of hot seasoning, very spicy. So we'll do a lot of cayenne or hot pepper. The Spanish dishes will do a lot of, they'll use curry too. Mexican dishes and true Spanish dishes use curry, use cumin, and they love chili. Oh my goodness, all that chili powder. So we cook with that. Jack and I do that. We've done some smoking videos, and we put all good seasoning on it. We did a pompano on there, and we smoked it. So we'll have some videos forthcoming with the smoker, and you guys will love that. It's a Z grill. It's a real big one. It's like a full scale barbecue, and you can smoke all the way up to 400 and something degrees. So we're gonna do quite a few different dishes. Now, Brady, by the way, when you said to leave your fish in a saltwater brine, I never tried that before. It works. I know it does. Very little game taste and eliminates the aquatic taste. I'm going to brine all my fish now. Well, GVS Fishing, going back to work. Love the channel. Keep up the good work. God bless you, Mr. GVS. Thanks. I hope you are a subscriber, and if you're not, we want you to be part of the family. Thanks for watching. Yeah, but Brady, you're right about the brine. That's the coolest thing, man. Just think about it. Salt is a natural agent to pull out impurities, um, and also for flavor. So once the big part, the most important part is cleaning the fish real good. Wash it out real good. Get all the bloodline out. I see a lot of videos, and these guys are making fillets, and and when they flip it over, oh my goodness, all these patches of blood. No, I'm sorry, I'm not eating any of that blood. I have a really good fillet knife, and I'll do a video on the Wusthof knives that I did. I never paid more than $40 for a knife on these great 8, 7, 8, and 9-inch semi-flexible knives. They fillet fantastic. When I filleted up, I caught 2 big stripers earlier in the season, big ones, 16 and 12 pounds. We went out one Sunday and we trolled for them, and I'll do a video on that too, and I'll explain how you do that with the planer boards. And we self-taught ourselves how to do this. I watched guys on YouTube, and I said, man, I could do that. And this is the water was right, and we did it on the Caney fork, and I just filleted out all the blood, because a lot on a striper, and it's real, and then cut out the pin bones, all that, and had it looks like it's solid, and then it just splits apart. It has like 2 tails. That's a good fillet. Wash it out real good. Pat it real dry with paper towels. And then you put it in there. Put a lot of salt in the water. And shake it up. Leave it in there for a day or 2. And then when you take it out, then you really pat it. And you got yourself really good tasting. It's pure fish. And you're right. There is no gamey taste. All right. Stuart says, Spanish is a good idea too. And oh, paella is something I've never tried, but it always looks good. Let me tell you, I'm definitely doing a paella one, more than one. I've got some extremely cool pans. I ordered them directly from Spain. I forget the brand, but it's the biggest name, and it's made in Spain. I bought them on Amazon. I will put them in my links on my Amazon store. Check it out. I'll have it in there. I bought a solid polished stainless steel. I bought another one that's all copper. I cannot wait. I don't want the steel ones. I know a lot of guys do that, and the pure Spaniards do that, and I think that's cool. I don't want to do that because it's the maintenance is ridiculous. You've got to clean it. You can't scrape it real hard with steel wool or Brillo, because you'll take off the finish. Then you got to coat it with oil. That's no, that don't work for me. I want to be realistic. I buy good pots and pans that I can work with and that are reasonable. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a set. The day will come, I might, but at this point, I'm not going to do that. I have good Cuisinart, and there's other good makes too. But I bought solid stainless steel. I don't do any. That's bad English. I don't do. No more Teflon coated ones because they chip, and I never read the fine print. Can't use high heat. Well, what's the purpose of having it? Some things you have to, like I want to braise a piece of meat. I want to sear a prime rib like I did on Memorial Day weekend with my kids. I didn't do it on that. I did it on my stainless steel and cleaned up beautiful if you do it right, if you season your stainless steel. All the professional chefs, if you look on the chef shows, all the cooking channels, they got all stainless. I very rarely ever see anything but real, and they use all clad, which is really top quality. So you get a good top quality stainless steel, and you're going to like it. Now, in Spanish, so the paella, yeah, there's two types of paella. One is a paella fideuà. I had to learn how to pronounce that. And that is with dried macaroni, roasted. It will make your mouth water. I'm telling you, I have to hold back how much I eat of that. And then they have the regular paella, which is a seafood paella. And I tested it at my Florida home with my wife, and we did it with scallops, with big colossal shrimp, and we put pieces of fresh caught from the Gulf. I want to say it was sea trout, but I can't remember. But one of the freshly caught, and we chopped it up, put it in there. Oh my goodness! Now that's real heavy because you got to use rice. That's part of a seafood paella, true seafood paella recipe. Now, let me see. Ducks Rule 123. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for checking in. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your cooking videos so far. Thank you. But do us all a favor and turn your comments on. Nothing more important than interacting with the audience in the comments section. Right. Well, let me tell you, in the beginning, we decided it not because we had bad comments. I don't get any thumbs down or nothing. Thank God. You guys are just over the top. But it's a good practice. I'll tell you why. You guys are great, but you can't imagine the bad stuff that's out there. And I don't want to get ingrained in something like that. And I hope you appreciate that. It's we're not picking sides. We want to go right middle of the line. I really think it's coming. That'll be canceled on YouTube because it's caused a lot of controversy. A lot of issues have come about for no reason at all. And I follow a lot of great YouTubers, and some of the comments are just like, if I was YouTube, I would have changed the rules. That's all I could say. I would definitely change the rules. It's just not fair. It's not fair to the people that really work hard and do a great video, spend time, put good content out there, and then they got to get smacked because somebody is either high or dope or I don't know what's wrong with the people, or they're jealous. It's just not right. It's not right. We've got good stuff we want to talk about. Craig Banach, hello all. Hello to you, and thanks for tuning in, buddy. Now, Brady, I understand the reason for not having comments. As long as you do these live chats, that is great. Absolutely. I decided we wanted to do this for a while. So last week, if you guys tuned in, we did a spontaneous one. It wasn't on a Wednesday, I don't think. I was over Jack's house, and I said, look, I'm diving in, whether I know how to swim or not, and we're going to do this. I love this. I can honestly see this happening more than once a week. I like chatting. I really want to get to know everybody. I know that's a tall statement, but Jack is going to help me do Zoom. Zoom.us. You guys look into that. Let me type that up for you. Zoom.us. Look that up. Get familiar with it, because hopefully as early as next week or not too long, we're going to institute that where it's a live video chat room. We'll be able to see each other. And on my laptop that I have a 15-inch laptop, I'll have little squares all over the screen with your guys' faces. I really want to see who I'm talking to. And I appreciate every comment. I'm taking notes. I really do listen. World Supporter stopping in to say, I have to run. Nice to have you, Mr. World Supporter. Thanks for checking in with us. But we are going to do quite a bit. We're appealing to the young novices. I just love kids. I got 9 grandkids. My 9th one was just born May 6th. And little Barrett Charles Costley. He's beautiful, and I know come 2 or 3 years old, he's going to know his poppy goes fishing, and he's going to get his first little rod. Let me see here. Craig, live chats are always nice. Yes. Live chats are always nice. Glad to see your channel growing. Yeah, I can't believe it. 1,042. Hopefully it'll be a lot more tonight. Ted Wilson, welcome to the channel, bud. I've been in a food review video with Jack. What were your thoughts while doing your first restaurant review with him? Well, first, he's a rip. I know Jack for about a year and a half. Before that, we go to church together, and he was always known as the YouTube man. So he helped me launch my daughter. My daughter is John's Bakery, and I got to know him. But Jack is the real deal. He loves God. He's a good Christian, a good man. Him and his wife Tammy, they're just excellent. They got a great family, and we get along well. We're two Italians. What can I say? We're two paisans, and we hang out. We did the first restaurant review, and I was splitting the gut with him. It was hysterical, but we have a good time. He really enjoys himself. We don't overeat. We don't pig out. Really, a lot of times I do a lot of takeout. We'll go there. We'll test their appetizers like Jack. I learned from him. And now, I develop into my own style, but we do it together, and we are having a blast. So do I like it? Yeah, I love it. We're going to, for your sake, Ted, we're going to hopefully start very soon, maybe next week, to do live video chatting through a program called ZoomUS.us. And this way, it would be a live station. I think there's no limit to how many people can join it. And the little squares will come on the screens where you can see each other. So I'm looking forward to meeting you guys and talking to you. I have people coming from all over the country. So I like seeing everybody on there. We are going to do a video on boat reviews, on boat maintenance. I know that sounds boring with a capital B, but let me tell you, it really wasn't a sacrifice. I wouldn't go on the water if you paid me on a Memorial Day weekend. That's the worst weekend to go out. And July 4th and Labor Day, those are suicide missions. Everything is churned up. You're not going to get real good fishing. And then everybody, they act like total knuckleheads out there. But we'll talk about boat maintenance. And I spent all Memorial Day, well, about almost half of it, just pressure washing my deck boat, even though it had a cover on it. A lot of stuff gets in there. I put a new cover on it. Had to clean it down. It's a 23-foot a hurricane deck boat. Real nice. It works great. I only keep it on fresh water. And we'll do 90% of our fishing here in Tennessee with that boat. Well, everything from trailer maintenance. I put a new light on it. I really checked the tires. I ripped all the trailer tires that came off. I bought it brand new and put good radials on it. So these are things, if any of you guys are brave enough and you want to venture out more than just shore fishing, which I do a lot of, and go out on a boat, we could talk about different types of boats. But Brady, I said, I forgot to mention, I watch a lot of fishing channels, and this is the only one I cannot wait for new. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Great channel, very knowledgeable. Makes me miss my bass boat you talking about. Well, let me tell you, you'll really miss one. I'll tell you this, I got 3 boats. I've got a 23-foot Hydrosport I keep in Florida, center console I bought from my stepfather-in-law. My first wife, Sharon, we were married almost 30 years. She passed away 11 years ago. I got married again 3 years ago to a gal from a real wonderful girl in Florida. And so her dad, I bought the boat from him. It was just too much for him to take care of. Let me see. The notes are coming in. Rob K. Good to have you, Rob. A real Italian would have offered their viewers some gabagool and peppers. Well, I see you're another paisan. You know what gabagool is. Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you guys, if we're ever together, and I will hook up with some of you guys, if we're ever together, you know there's going to be Italian food somewhere in the mix. I don't care where we are. We cook Italian, we think Italian, we dress Italian. It's just the way it is. But I love all the cultures. And the foods that I do cook, I'm going to say this respectfully to you guys are probably different nationalities. Obviously, Italian is not the only one. I love the real deal. Mexican, I want the real, honest Mexican from either Chihuahua, or from other parts of Mexico, or from right in Madrid, the real recipe. So when I do a seafood paella or a paella fideuà, you guys are going to flip out. I perfected it. I tried it. I learned it. I listened to that English. I learned it from a YouTube station called La Tienda. It's excellent, and it gives the Spanish food. I love it. He taught it well. Good station. Let me see. Duck's Rule. How did you meet Jack? I met him in church. I go to Cornerstone, Nashville, Madison, Tennessee. A great church if you're ever in the area. And that's where I really met Jack. He moved in from California, he said he was from, LA area, and got to meet him about a year after he was on board there. Our paths crossed when we started up my daughter's channel. I think it's by John's Bakery. And it's one of the ones I subscribe to. You'll see it on my page. And he helped me start that up. We fuse like magnets. We just get along real good. We have the same view on everything. He won't admit he's wrong, just like I won't. So we get along real good. Okay, what did you say here? I'm there. All right. You got it, Rob. All right, Ted. Yes, sir. Thanks for keeping it real. I have to duck out, say hi to Jack. I will, and thank you. Thank you. This is always going to be this way, but thanks very much. Craig, what's your favorite fish to catch and favorite to eat? Ooh, you just said a mouthful. I got a few. Let's talk saltwater first. Absolute favorite fish ever since, even before I could catch, I caught them, was grouper. I love grouper. Are there other ones? Yes. Since then, I've caught pompano. If you look at our second video we ever did, we smoked. I went over Jack's house. That smoker he gave me, and I'll be using that in videos. Smoked a beautiful fillet. I have a commercial vac sealing machine, and I'll bring that on one video. How from brining to after we brine, we take it out and we really infuse it. I do it with a vacuum seal, commercial vacuum seal machine. I did pompano. And I'm telling you, pompano is like pure white, dense meat. I caught it in Florida the first time. They fight like unbelievable. They do not want to come to the surface. They're not jumpers, but man, they will dog it and pull it down like a good cobia. Pompano is phenomenal eating. I love cobia is another one that's really, really, really good eating. Believe it or not, all the snook I caught, it's either over the limit, 37 inches, big ones, or really small you can't keep. They got to be, I believe, 27, I think, or 28 to 32, or to 30 to 32. In cobia, they have to be minimum 33 inches to the fork. So that's the saltwater. Freshwater, striper's number one, and walleye. That's a tie. Love walleye. I promise you, is equivalent to grouper for the consistency. For like salmon, the same thing. The meat is real shiny. It's beautiful pinkish white. Look at some walleye videos and watch these guys fillet them. It tastes. My brother lives in Erie, Pennsylvania. They serve it in some restaurants. When I mentioned walleye, he went berserk. He said that's the only fish he orders at the restaurants. Okay, what do we got now? And favorite to eat? Yes, that's it. I like catching them all, really. Jacob Daniel Turner, hi. How you doing, Jacob? I hope you're subscribing to the channel. Hope you're spreading the good news. All right, Brady, how much does a license cost? Let me adjust this a little bit. How much does a license cost where you are? For us, it's about 30. Oh, wow, it's reasonable by you. Here, I don't have my wallet on me, but I have to pay extra for a trout stamp. So all in all, it's about $47.50, and I'm a resident of Tennessee, and that's an annual license. It's pretty reasonable, and I don't really flinch. I'm supporting a cause I believe in. All right, Craig says, never fish salt water. Craig, you're missing it, buddy. You're missing it. It will blow your mind. But best tasting was smoked mako shark. Oh, cool. And walleye. I never had smoked walleye. That's interesting. It's also my favorite freshwater fish to eat. Oh, yeah. Really, I enjoy walleye fishing probably more than striper. And when I gear up for striper, it's all heavy duty tackle. I just love them. They're dear to my heart in fresh water, but I catch striped bass even in salt water. When we go back to Montauk Point, I've been going there for year after year after year. My buddy Steve, we go for about 12 to 14 days. We fish mainly and only from the shore. We don't go on a boat. We don't have a boat. We don't hire a captain. And we fish for striper and bluefish, and these are big boys. I carry 3 foot coolers, and their heads and their tails hang off the side. And you'll see pictures. In fact, if you'll check my Instagram page on Fishhook, you'll see somewhere I have a Bubba knife, a big old 9-inch knife. That's what you need. These are the big carcasses, and you'll see a sample striped bass over there. We're allowed to, at the time, we could keep 2 a day. Now in New York, we got so many tree huggers out there. I got no other way to say this. It's getting to be ridiculous. They're minding our business too much, and about things they know nothing about. And I believe in conservation and taking care of the fishing population, absolutely. And I take fish and I harvest them very conservatively, but I eat what I catch. I don't catch and to kill them. I'll throw them back. We catch an average of 135 to 200 fish in a 2-week period from the shore, and everybody looks at us because we've got it down. We know how to catch them top water and below the surface. Never fished. Have you ever? AA.AA. Hey, good to have you. I'm Charles. Have you ever tried tenkara fly fishing? No, to be honest with you, tell me what tenkara fly fishing is. I do fly fishing. I've got all the setup, and I used to when I was much younger. I tied a bunch of flies. I love it. Craig, you sound like the real deal. Have a good night. Got to be going. Craig, good to talk to you, buddy. And tune in again every Wednesday, 7:30 Central Time to 8:30. And if this gets good, I might even talk longer. But I really enjoy myself. Thanks for hanging in, buddy. Tenkara fly fishing. That's a new one on me. That's a new one. I fly fish. I used to live, I'll tell you a little bit about my past. In February 2nd of 1982, my wife Sharon and my only daughter at the time, my first daughter, Jana, we moved. We felt the call of God to work in the mission field, and we moved to Eagle River, Alaska, which is in the northern section of Anchorage, Alaska. And we went to Kingsway Assembly of God Church, and it was awesome. I got into plumbing and heating. That is my trade, plumbing and mechanical. I still do that to this day, and my family's in it now. 2 of my 3 kids work with me on this in our family business. But I did fly fishing up there, and man, salmon was the bomb. We caught the silver salmon run it was in the springtime in May, and then they got a September run. They come up from the Columbia River out of Washington. So I missed that. I haven't been back. I came out of there in early '86, went to New York, and then moved here to Tennessee in December of '86. And we've been here ever since. But I love fly fishing. It was nice. The creeks, they were beautiful. The water's like 32, 34 degrees all the time. And you could see the glacier water. You don't want to drink that. It's not healthy for you. It's real dirty. But glacier water sometimes it's bluish green. It's absolutely beautiful, and it is bone chilling cold. You need to wear insulated coveralls, waders rather, when you go out there. Now we do that here in Tennessee too. We wear insulated coveralls. Waders, and the very best ones that I use are neoprene. I get the 5 mil because the water is just beyond belief, and I get that from Cabela's. Now we got Baby Geets. Nice to have you. Thank you. Hey, did you ever get to Homer for the halibut fishing? No. Can you believe it? I lived there 4 stinking years, and I never went there. My brother-in-law at the time, Nathan, came up, visited, and don't you know, he went to Homer and went halibut fishing on a boat. I was so busy working in the church and working plumbing and mechanical. I was working literally in excess of 80 hours a week, and I love it. I still do it. I love my profession, but I never went, and I really regret that. But never say never. I am going back. I've made lifelong friends there. My good friends Willie and Mary Pomeroy. If they're watching, I want to say a big shout to them. I got great friends there, but halibut fishing is awesome. And let me tell you guys, those are true doormats. They fight. I know I've caught big flounder in my life, and we catch flounder, not here in Tennessee, but in Florida. I couldn't believe what they call them summer flounder. And they come in and you can catch them. You can catch some dandy ones down there. And they fight. Listen, they can fly through the water. I just learn things. I see them as like amazing. And they got choppers, don't even be near their teeth. They got daggers for teeth. They're pretty violent down there. And in salt water, let me tell you, it's eat or be eaten. So everything is on guard down there. And when they hit a bait, I don't care if it's live bait or artificial, these guys annihilate the bait. It's in for the kill. Usually it's the first time they get it on the first shot or they don't mess with it at all. So it's pretty cool. But halibut fishing is the bomb. You're right about that. That is really good. And I love, I live on YouTube, so I always watch, I keep in touch with that. I keep in touch with the salmon fishing. I see all the guys lined up on the shore. I did that. And I did it all fly fishing. I didn't even use spinning tackle. And it was the bomb. It was nice. So that will make some real good videos. We've got one of the subscribers is a fly fishing guy from Yakima, Washington, and invited us to go up there. So if we do that this summer, we'll stay in his cabin and we'll be guided down the Yakima River and we'll do some fly fishing. So that I know will make some fantastic footage. But we will be doing on the boat now. I'm hoping this weekend to take it out. Jack and I, we're going to test out the toadfish rods. I'm very excited about doing that. We're going to test out the medium, light, and the medium. We're going to try some different weights, see how they handle top water and subsurface. And I want to see what reaction. And if we catch any fish, hopefully we will. We'll see exactly what type of reaction those rods do and how well their backbone stands up to that. But it's been really exciting talking to all you guys. You guys, what part of the country now, Craig? Let me ask you, what part of the country are you from? And Baby Geese, why don't you guys let me know? Shoot me where you're from. Now, I had somebody was from Minnesota. I don't know how to scroll it. Mingyum Lamb, you're from New Jersey. What part of Jersey are you from? I'm real familiar with Jersey. I worked with my dad before we moved to Anchorage, Alaska. I worked in the trucking business. My dad had a real big trucking company down in Brooklyn. And New York City, oh yeah. All right, good deal. Good deal. We were right there by the Kosciuszko Bridge. And Fort Lee, New Jersey, to be specific. Good. You're right by the George Washington Bridge brings you out over there. Yeah, it's a busy world down there. Very, very busy. Have you done any fishing over there in the East River, the Hudson River? I've never fished in all the years I was in New York, and I was born there. I only fished Little Neck Bay and Long Island. I went out of Port Jeff. My dad, God bless him, he's with the Lord now, but my dad took me out with all my uncles. It was a blast. It was a big family adventure. If you're Italian, trust me, you got aunts and uncles coming out to woodwork. And we went out with 2 or 3 different boats, like John boats with motors. And we went out of Port Jeff and some other inlets, bays, and we went out into the Sound just a little bit. And we would go porgy fishing, tautog fishing, blackfish. We had a blast and all drop setups with all the way up to 6 hooks on them. And we come up loaded with blowfish, which we called it then chicken of the sea. Most people today don't even know what they are and how tasty. Blowfish are like eating a chicken leg. The same thing. It's really, really tasty. But in Little Neck, I went off the jetty quite a bit. I'm the oldest of 4 boys, so I took my brothers with me sometimes when they were older. And went fishing there, and I caught a ton of fish and brought it home to my mom. She loved it when I went fishing. And when I visited them, they retired to Florida as well, and to Palm Harbor. and they loved it. I would go fishing. They had a house off the canal, and I would just sit out there for hours. And honestly, my mom would have a dish stacked like that high of all the nice fried fish or baked fish. She loved what I did. I brought it in, I filleted it for her, and she baked it, and we'd have dinner on me all the time I go down there. We caught trout, we caught big redfish. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Now, Baby Geets, I lived in, oh, you did in Anchorage. Cool, for a few years. And did get the chance to fish in Homer. Man, I worked hard for that halibut. What a treat. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And what did you, what line of work are you in Anchorage? I worked for a company out of Spokane, Washington. He moved up there. I don't know if they're still in business anymore. Leroy Kohler had a huge operation. We were the second largest plumbing and heating company in the state of Alaska. We were non-union, and I was treated really well, and I worked with them for almost a little over 2.5 years. I went right up the ranks, and they took care of me and helped them run a part of the business out there in the field. But it was a great experience, and I loved it. I did a lot of hunting, and in fact, I brought guns with me, and I love guns. And then my friend Gary Twig from church introduced me to bow hunting, and I laughed and I said, "A bow?" I said, "I had a 323 Remington Magnum. I never shot, brand new rifle, and I had a 30-06, and I had a 30-30. So I was geared up. Never shot one bullet the whole time I was there, and I went bow hunting and fell in love with it. Let me see. Ming Yum is asking me, why did you leave the company? If you're referring to Alaska, well, what happened, if that's what you're referring to, my mother-in-law, Teresa, passed away suddenly after they came and visited us. She had a serious diabetic problem. And anyway, she had an infection, and it was a shock. My wife, Sharon, was very close. They only had 2 children, Sharon and Nathan. And Sharon, I flew her home. And at the time, we had 2 children. We had our second daughter, Lauren, I joke with her, she's our Eskimo. And we had her in Providence Hospital in Anchorage. And lo and behold, Sharon went home, and about a week later, unexpectedly, this was really a surprise, my mother-in-law passed away. So I flew home, and it was not long after that. That was the summer of, I believe, the summer of '85, and then in '86, we ended sometime in the middle of the year. We ended up moving back to New York. My in-laws on my wife's side have the largest plumbing and heating company in New York. All of New York, really large, very successful. I worked with them for a while until I felt where I was going to go. And then I went back to the city, and I worked out of my dad's shop in Brooklyn, did that for a while. And then I moved to Tennessee because my father-in-law at the time was, I want to say about 75, 78 years old. Roy had a hard time. He packed up his house upstate New York. That's where Sharon lived, Schenectady, New York. And he moved to Nashville, Tennessee, to be closer to his only son, Nathan, who was in the music business and still is today. So he invited me, I visited, and we felt the call of God, and God opened up the doors, and that's why we moved. And had I never done what I did in February of '82, followed the call of God over there, that prepared me for where I am today. And it has been an unbelievable journey. The journey's not over. That's how it is when you serve the Lord. It's the day you accept Him. It's the beginning of a great journey with God. And God just opened up all the doors. We had our 3 children. We've had one in New York. Jonna was born there in Long Island, Jewish. My middle daughter, Lauren, was born on July 4th of '84 in Anchorage, Alaska. I'm sorry, it wasn't '85. It was '84 when they visited us because my mother-in-law passed away September of '84. I'm sorry, we stayed about another year and a half. And then my son, Chaz, which is Charles, he was born here in September of 1987 in Nashville, Tennessee. So he's our redneck. But he's true blue Italian, and God's blessed us. So I'm very, very blessed. And I really am having a blast doing this YouTube chatting. We don't only have to talk about fishing, and we can talk about cooking. We really anything you guys ask, I'll talk about it. I like interaction. You guys are just been the bomb. I have to say that it's been really, really cool. I appreciate you guys. We've been on, 55 minutes already. I love it. I don't really have a time limit. I'm setting it for an hour, and there'll be times when we talk. We're going to go way over that. I don't really care about the clock. I look forward to this. I've been thinking about it today. Hey, what are we going to talk about? And next week, I'll tell you how my boat cleaning went, how I'm going to do maintenance on the trailer and testing on the water. So we've got so many irons in the fire. It's pretty hard to keep track. Thank you for being so candid with us. It's a joy to get to know you more personally. Well, man, it's going to be even better. And thank you. I appreciate that, Baby Geeks. I appreciate that very much. Hopefully next week, if we can get Zoom.us working, I want you guys to look at that. I put that in the response section. Check it out. It's not hard to do. And if we can all get on board, oh, man, it's going to be the bomb. It's going to be so much more real. And then on some of these, I want to show you firsthand. I want to hold the reel right in front of you and show you this is what I use. This is the kind of line I buy. I really don't follow anyone in the fishing world per se. I like to learn. I've learned a lot of tricks and I watch. I ask questions and I pay attention. Dean Stud, hey man, good to have you on board. Boat maintenance could be a good video. Oh, it's gonna be a great video. I have one. I'll show you from Florida. I have a 20, like I said earlier, I have a 23-foot Hydrosport center console. And I bought it from my father-in-law, and it was too much for him to handle, but he let the trailer go to pot. He didn't. It's a really good tandem trailer. I put all new wheels on it, put a brand new brake. I mean, everything conceivable in a braking system I put on it. The trailer, it was a Loadmaster. It's such good condition. That's why I did that. And we completely ripped out every inch of wire. I put a brand new wiring system on there, brand new LED lights. And then on the side, you have some of these trailers have the nice PVC poles that come up and they're guides. Well, I bought these light system, very, very cool. And it's a half circle that sits on top of there, and with a set screw holds it in place on top of the 2-inch PVC. And they're over square elbows that don't move. I had the round ones before, they were worthless. So I finally went ahead and bit the bullet and bought it. But they've got an amber light in the front that I can see when I'm backing in low light or at nighttime. It shows me where my trailer is. And even when I'm going down the highway. And then in the back half are red lights. They're just running light. They're not brake lights. Even if you see some trailers, I learned this from calling the Florida Patrol on this. Some of these trailers that have the brake lights up there, it's okay to have them in sync with your bottom lights. You have to have your brake lights on the actual trailer, on the trailer frame. That's the law down in Florida. One cannot eliminate the other. You can have it in conjunction. I thought that was a good idea. And I wish these were that type, but so be it. Hey, thanks for the chat. See you next time. Okay, thanks for joining in. I need help from all you guys. We really want to grow the channel. We are going to celebrate when Jack is done with his Burger Wars on Jack Cooking with Jack. I think it's the first weekend in June. He has a 3-day session. Then after that, the following week, we're going to announce we're going to do a giveaway, and we're going to have a Blackstone grill, 22. I believe it's a 22-inch griddle, and we're going to do a video on putting it all together at Jack's house, and we're going to cook on it, show you how well it cooks. We're going to test it. I'm going to give you an honest review, but we're going to buy one because it's the newest rage out there and everybody likes it. We're going to buy one and we're going to give it away. That's like I think it's about roughly $200 what you buy for it at Walmart. That's your best deal if you go there. And it's more expensive at other places. but it's worth it, right around the $200 mark. And we're going to buy that and invest. I really want to bless the people that have made us get to this point of the subscribers. Um, I want to enjoy this. This is my family, my life. I don't want to have secrets. I want to be very transparent in all that I do. And I hope you guys enjoyed it tonight. This has been a blast. We're at the hour mark now, and unless anybody's got something really cool to say, I'm going to say thank you. And again, please subscribe, share it with others, get people to sign on, because unless you're a subscriber, you're not eligible for a drawing. And I'm going to tell you, it's almost like a roulette wheel when we do the drawing. So we want to do that in June, and that is going to be a blast. But yes, boat maintenance is going to be a great video. Thank you, Dean, for joining in, and thank everyone. I really appreciate seeing everybody here. I've seen a lot of new faces. So next Wednesday, 7:30 Central Time to hopefully only 8:30 Central Time, we're going to have this great chat, and we're calling it Chatting with Charles. Tonight's broadcast, we're calling it my first live broadcast, but from now on, it'll be Chatting with Charles. Thank you, and good night, and God bless.